my favorite songs are slow and sad. All my favorite songs are sad. All my favorite people make me mad. So mad, so mad. Everything that feels so good is bad, bad, bad. All my favorite songs are slow and sad. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I love parties, but I don't go. Then I feel bad when I stay home. Cause I need a friend when I take a walk. I like spacing out when somebody talks. I wanna be rich, but I feel guilty. I fall in love with everyone who hates me. All my favorite songs are slow and sad. All my favorite people make me mad, so mad. Everything that feels so good is bad, bad, bad. All my favorite songs are slow and sad. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been a yes man, cause I don't wanna know myself. Wish you the best, man. Now I got no more wishes left. I feel ashamed when no one calls me, but I do the same. So mom and dad, I'm sorry. All my favorite songs are slow and sad. And all my favorite people make me mad, so mad. Everything that feels so good is bad, bad, bad. All my favorite songs are slow and sad. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've been so good, I've been helpful and friendly. I've been so good, why am I feeling empty? I've been so good, I've been so good. Are you asking me why?
All right. Anyways, as I guess we can get to it. Starting
Thank
off
you.
real
Roll
professional
initiative.
tonight. Um, so where we left off, y'all were back in the city.
And it was on fire.
There was a little bit of fire. The city itself wasn't.
I was about to say, I don't recall that.
There were some scorch marks outside the city, some kind of vines crawling up the walls, but the walls themselves seemed mostly unscathed. And there were some dead elves outside, and we kind of ended with kind of Corn and Shade peeking around the corner and seeing a bunch of the other scout troop just like against the wall, peeking around the corner as well. And y'all saw them first because both you and I rolled pretty decent on our stealth and real shit on our perception. So it's just two groups of people successfully hiding from each other, and I didn't have the patience to roleplay that. So I ended that. So let's see here. Yeah, I think this is where we'll be. If it will load. Yeah. Okay. And before that, what we had kind of accomplished, Conifer and Duchess, whose real name is Liliana, got to reunite and actually spend the morning kind of catching up a little bit. And y'all made your way back to, like, continued on to the Shrine of Evelios, which is where Shade was planning on dropping off the prince. And while there, ran into some people that Larazis was pretty keen on being noticed by.
Being not noticed by.
I think I was
Not
right
being
the
looked
first
down
time.
upon
If
by.
if I was being noticed, I needed to be like proper. But like,
yeah.
dear God, if they notice me,
Because I think he was like, I really hope that like these people
and
send word back to my father and let them know that I'm
not
here.
what I.
I think
No, no, no,
that's
no,
where we
no, no.
left it. So
It's not where we. They don't know who I am. They have no proof. The evidence is circumstantial at best.
But anyways, you also kind of got a nice little peek into. Oh, and I meant to rename one of them, right? Because I couldn't handle their names sounding different and their
Was it
being
Uranus?
triplets. I think it was Adrian was the one that I wanted to rename because everyone else I could have that kind of awe sound for the A, but the Galanadel triplets weren't too keen on Shade's whole deal, like the outwardly friendly, kind of holding a grudge beneath the surface kind of attitude, and most people picked up on that. And on your way back to Midrash, Shade gifted Larazis a fiddle that used to belong to her sister, and she told him that it just didn't really fit her anymore, and had noticed that he was doing some, bard things, although she wouldn't say that because she's not thinking of it from a mechanical perspective. And to everyone's kind of pleasant surprise,
Great
Larazis
relief is
did
the word you're
not.
looking for.
Great relief. Larazis did not suck at it.
Yes,
So
I am proficient in it.
And so
One
that's
might say.
where we will kind of pick up now. Y'all have just stepped into the Midrash again. You kind of see the kind of scout troop lining the walls. You can tell they're still a little bit tense, as if they're, expecting more to come. And one of them, like, they recognize Corn and Shade pretty much immediately, and then everyone else who kind of follows in, they don't really. They assume are with them. They might recognize a few of you, but you're still relatively new, and you've been on special assignment for like a week. So they do see Corn and Shade, and they kind of relax a little bit. And they're like, where have you guys been?
Funny enough, we were here rather recently.
Yeah, the captain got a note from one of you. We made pretty good time here, but y'all had already disappeared again. And then some fucking idiot elves showed up, and we may have accidentally killed a few of them before we realized they weren't actually doing anything.
That doesn't seem great.
That sounds
No.
real rough.
No, it's
Happened?
you might as well just. Marcus is in the governor's mansion. He'd probably wanna.
You guys fucked up.
Yeah.
They fucked up, and they would have fucked up
no.
more had
Mhm.
y'all not murdered the previous garrison. But again, you might as well just go to the mansion. Marcus will fill you in a bit better. We're supposed to keep watch on the gate to
Mhm.
make sure it doesn't happen again.
What? Make sure you don't accidentally murder people because of their race. A little bit of a whoopsie there, wasn't it, my dude?
I mean,
Sorry.
I don't know if we have all of the context to immediately jump to that.
Oh,
But
Oh, I don't care. It's fine. I don't
the
need it
fire
anymore.
and the vines weren't from us.
Uh-huh.
we
Were they
we didn't
defending
like.
themselves
No, we
by
were
any chance?
we were technically defending ourselves before we realized that they weren't actually attacking. They were just apparently putting on some weird show. Again, I don't know why you're still here at the gate. This is not. I'm not the one to fill you in on this.
Finger is currently walking towards the governor's mansion.
Okay, I'm done belittling
I'm
this.
also
I
starting to slink off toward that way.
I leave.
Okay.
I just kind of narrow my
on
eyes
the way
and
to the
walk
governor's
away.
mansion, I just go.
Don't.
I really hope they hire good cooking staff. The last cooking staff did not keep the kitchen very clean.
There was no one there.
Oh, I mean that might do it.
As we're leaving the gate, can I
irrelevant.
just look at the guards and be like, "Don't mind her. She hasn't had her coffee
Even
this
when I'm
morning
on
or some
holiday,
shit like
the
that."
kitchen staff needs to clean
Absolutely.
the kitchen.
Okay, so off to the governor's mansion.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Finger's leading the pack to the
Yeah.
governor's mansion. Where the shit
Hanks,
is.
lead the way.
And I'm going to do my best to just hide around
What?
people.
Are you just hiding behind
That's
Finger?
I do not want to confront Marcus, but am I going to confront Marcus? Inevitably.
So you're
Perchance.
probably at the back of the group currently.
Oh, totally.
My voice changer does not seem to be wanting to work, so
So as you kind of get to the governor's mansion, like the kind of park area, the courtyard outside, there are a few additional guards that they see Shay, they just kind of wave you on in, and you're directed to one of the 6 sitting rooms that I apparently built into this house, which is where
6 is
Yeah.
plenty.
you never know
Lot of-
how
lot
many
of
people
sitting.
you may be entertaining, and so a decent sitting room is a must.
A dozen is also a must. A dozen
Yes.
decent
So,
sitting
just a corridor of sitting rooms.
Mhm.
Yeah, sitting room F, please.
I-
we are not in a castle. We are only in a
Yeah.
small mansion.
Well, there's a foyer that leads into like a just lobby with a staircase going up to the second room. That also just has
I mean,
plenty
it's
of
got
seating.
it's got a foyer. It's got a foyer. We
Truthfully,
covered.
That
This looks like a bed and breakfast, but they bring the food to the different reading rooms.
they
Also, the
might.
place-
Okay, so anyways,
I may have only built one bedroom into this house. There are 6 sitting rooms and one, and one.
The governor's
bedroom.
mansion doubles as like a brunch and
The governor's
place.
not entertaining a lot of overnight guests. So.
Especially
You don't
now
stay the
that
night.
he's
It
ran
closes
away.
at like 6.
So, as y'all get into the aforementioned sitting room, the door kind of closes behind you. You kind of hear footsteps leading away. They're definitely not going to try to listen in on a conversation between Shade and Marcus, and if the rest of you are with her, then you must be allowed to be there, kind of thing. And he's gonna, look up at y'all as you walk in, and just kind of be like, well, I feel like we both have a little bit of explaining to do.
Excellent. You go first.
Well,
Oh well, you see, this Shade gave me this fiddle.
she's gonna elbow you quickly in the ribs. All right, so I got a very pleasant note from Duchess explaining the situation. No passive aggressiveness or anything of the kind.
Instant doubt.
And shortly after that, Marion came by on horseback, basically confirming everything Duchess had written in the note. We decide to quick march here to find a city mostly ungarrisoned and townspeople just kind of wandering the streets as if they weren't sure they were allowed to be outside. So we were attempting to kind of get things back in order, and then some of the elves that you may have seen outside showed up and started casting spells and kind of firing arrows over the wall, and a couple of the druids seemed to be using like plant growth magic to, I don't know. Before we realized they weren't actually attacking, we had killed about 6 of them, and the rest kind of dropped their weapons. And a few of them fled. So those who surrendered, we put down in the governor's cellar so that we could question them and get a better idea on what the fuck happened. And that's where I found 2 very sullen, upset individuals that apparently someone abandoned down there when she decided to rescue everyone else.
Totally not Shade.
No, not at all.
Totally.
Oh, fuck.
Did
I
we
knew
leave that note there on the bottom of the
I,
cellar?
I think
I was gonna
Duchess
say.
grabbed it because her knife was, one of
Also,
her daggers
to
was
be fair,
sticking to it.
I believe do we want to check out the basement? And everybody was like, no.
To be fair, Shade said, you don't need to worry about the basement. I just
Yeah,
didn't.
And I still asked.
Yeah, I just didn't fully expect y'all to be okay with that.
I mean, I wanted to go
Yeah.
check the basement. You never know what was going to be down there.
It could be all kinds of things. It could be a
Good old
noble son and his
Corin always
bodyguard.
following orders.
Yeah.
Who were the 2 individuals?
So that was Ramus Brightwood.
Oh god, that's for not going down there. That would have been bad.
And Boars. And I think, Shade, when you met back up with her, asked if y'all had gone down to the cellar because she
We said
knew
no.
that Duchess probably would have tried to kill Ramus if she found
I
him
would.
tied up
Oh,
and
no.
unarmed.
Oh,
So,
that would have been...
yes, but they weren't happy, and Corin, you would know this, but I don't think you were technically a part of the campaign when they were introduced, so you personally might not know. Ramus is the son of a very important family, and Boars is his behemoth of like a bannerman, and they were escorting the prince on his
Goodwill journey.
goodwill journey. Thank you.
Yeah.
To visit kind of the more remote villages and see
On his USO show tour.
what
So,
he could do to help.
Did Shade kidnap him from his protectors? Or no?
His protectors were also prisoners. They just didn't get freed along with him.
Let's just say if Brightwood went into the Elven Kingdom, it would not have ended well.
Okay.
Oh, we should have went and rescued him then.
Duchess would have probably killed him on sight. I'm just saying.
Might have been funny.
Why?
Reasons?
Oh, okay.
Do we not? Does everybody know the history?
No.
Okay,
I
so
don't
Burnt
think
Out
so.
Forest. Because I'm pretty sure your characters technically all know the history, don't they?
For the forest, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if I do.
in character, I'd say almost everyone except maybe Songshen,
Yay.
maybe Corin. You can tell me how into the histories you are. Because Corin, you wouldn't have been alive when it happened, but it was a very famous event.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah,
Ramesses,
I'm only in my 40s, and I don't actually know. I didn't actually establish if this is my native land or not, like where I am. So probably not.
so
Don't worry, I
60
didn't either.
years ago, when the war started, it was preceded by a hunting party, essentially hunting in the sacred wood around the shrine y'all dropped the prince
It's
off
all
at.
burned out now.
As one does. Okay.
And, mistakes happened, but still kind of rude. The Elven Kingdom said, hey, not cool. You should apologize for this and maybe punish the people responsible. As a response, the king then basically sanctioned a larger party going and burning a bunch of the wood that the Elven Kingdom was not happy with them hunting in. And that
He
was
seems
led
nice.
by Ramesses' uncle, Percival Brightwood.
Oh, I would have absolutely signed off on you killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, So now we realize. Are we realizing now that the burnt out wood and the burnt out husk of a house
Was collateral damage that Duchess was personally caught
that
up
part I
in.
picked up on.
Yeah.
Because those
So
were
But are
her
you gonna blame
adoptive
the
parents,
sins of the
right?
father on the son?
technically
Fuck
the
yes.
sense of the uncle who's
Since
still
the whole
living.
goddamn family, let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh, the family's probably just full of dicks. But
100%.
Oh, for sure.
Duchess is like,
I have a question.
no.
something
It's
else
the Hatfields
that
McCoys. Let's just have it.
probably anyone would also know that knows of this event. The way the war ended was when the current king Anders' father died, who I think is Mouser Hornraven, was killed in the war.
Oh, the name.
When he took over the crown, he immediately executed the remaining surviving members of the hunting party that caused all this shit, which included Ramesses' uncle, which is kind of a big deal because it was basically like so it'd be like back in like the early aughts if like someone like George Bush just like executed Liz Cheney. Like their father was like a huge deal in the kingdom. And then when Anders took the throne, was just like, your son's a dick, I'm fucking killing him. And just did it.
Fuck that guy.
Like his like Percival's father did not have a chance to, make any kind of deal, or like basically Percival was like picked up with the rest of the hunting party, taken to what is now called the King's Justice, which is an execution site actually near here, and just fully executed within like a day of being picked up. And then all their heads were sent to the king to make peace. So the one directly responsible for Duchess's current foster parents' gravesite did meet justice, but no one would
That's maybe
blame
not quite
her
good enough.
for holding a grudge against kind of his whole family, especially considering how they behave.
Oh,
I
so we
think-
can. They're not exactly apologetic, I assume.
No, they're not. Not at all.
I have a quick question. Were their names always Brightwood, or did it get changed after, making the woods bright?
Oh,
Because
Oh
that
my god,
is-
that's so dark.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Like-
god.
was it just a fun coincidence? Because, maybe somebody should have stated that.
I don't know about fun, but yes, coincidence.
Wow.
Their names.
That is the darkest fucking thought I've ever heard in my entire life.
I mean, to be fair, it is a big old fun coincidence.
I
But
Fun
I
is
would have
not-
thought
You're
I
right.
cannot stress enough that this is my second time through this campaign, and I have not thought of that once until you brought it up just now.
Beautiful.
I have
God
problems.
damn it.
I know I was gonna say because it would have been an even bigger show of how huge they are as dick people
Just changing their
You
name.
if they
changed
had
their name.
changed their name to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say it's
Thanks
kind of
for
been
the idea.
fun because it's definitely like a Farideh AU that we've got going on here. But in every universe, the Brightwoods are dicks.
Fair.
So maybe if I try running it a third time, I'll make them protagonists and not just utterly repulsive. But unlikely.
Definitely not.
So, anyways, yeah, you see him kind of look down at Shade as he talks about finding Bors and Ramus down there, and she does not look remotely apologetic about this.
I love
Would
Shade.
you expect
Me
her
too.
No, and I'll just go ahead and go like a step further, and she just kind of just a little bit of a shrug, and it's like, would you believe I was saving their life?
No, not for a second. But yes, I believe you, Shade.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's what we call streamlining the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saving them for myself and then later from Duchess. That's how that works, right?
I
You
mean,
choose not to
yeah,
kill
yeah.
someone, you've saved their life.
Yeah. That is how that works.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, 100%. That's
I've
actually
said
how
that
it
totally
works.
would have
before. I
killed
have
him.
saved a life today, and it's like, oh, how? And it's restraint.
When we got to go down there, because if I went down there, I probably would have killed him.
That's pretty good, Travis.
So he's gonna realize he's not getting any more from her. He's gonna kind of sigh. Anyways, we can talk about this more tomorrow morning. We've talked with the elves down the cellar. They were apparently paid to come here and mimic an attack. And they said they didn't quite know why, but the head of their current chapter was paid quite a bit to do it, and it didn't seem like it would cause any problems, so they took the job. And after explaining that earlier there was about a company of 70 people manning this city, and if they had shown up when they were around, they would probably all be dead, and we kind of agreed to just call it even. And in probably the next hour or so, we're going to let them go and take their fallen comrades back to the Elven Kingdom with them, and hopefully not enough villagers have saw the commotion to know that we may have almost caused a second war.
Were you able to ascertain who hired them?
They didn't know. They all got a share, but apparently someone just showed up at the chapter head's residence with a chest full of gold, and
You said
Thus-
chopped to
So it's a
head, still
performing
alive?
troupe, is what I'm understanding.
Normally, they're mercenaries that take actual jobs, monster hunting. Occasionally, they might supplement some city guard forces that are light, but they're just, they're typical mercenaries. And this seemed like a less dangerous job than they're used to taking that paid a lot more, so they thought, what was the harm? And, well, causing an international incident is the harm.
Why weren't your
As a former
guys
mercenary,
able
Corin
to
is
tell the
unimpressed.
difference between a real and a fake attack?
Hmm.
Why were your guys not able to tell the difference between a real and a fake attack? That seems like a real basic thing.
If someone shoots at you and they miss, are they just bad at attacking, or are they missing on purpose?
I mean, you guys are highly trained, right?
Not everyone.
I will say that
well.
is something that was said in Iraq. Until you have taken a bullet, you aren't supposed to respond and fire. And let me tell you how often that happened.
And like you would know that, well, Corin doesn't technically count, but you're 4 of probably a group of 20 just fully new recruits.
Mm.
And you also know that back in Gesh, they almost caused actual damage to Gesh because one of the new Mage Corps recruits panicked and cast Thunderclap, which is what alerted y'all to the attack before they finished
I just-
massacring that group of bandits.
I just don't understand why everybody isn't as good as us, is the thing.
Have you played D&D
Like-
before?
Yeah. At this point, you are firmly in the middle.
I'm a cult. Hey. Like, if I can do well, I feel like other people should be able to. This is not in character, but like other people should be able to.
It's
Oh, you
fine.
cannot
didn't just
yell
declare
that
I'm
I'm
a
a
corpse
corpse
out
in
loud for everybody to hear?
No,
That's great.
no.
There are definitely people in the company that would be able to look at who's casting like a fireball and see that it hit way too far in front of the town and be like, that doesn't warrant returning fire.
But those are not the guys you put on guard duty.
Yeah. You've got people that are gaining experience in this little rendezvous of bandit activity. Like, this is everyone's training exercises. And so y'all are
I feel
just,
like it's gone.
you're
I feel
ahead
like
of the
it's gone
curve.
Past.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gone way past training exercise at this point.
And if we're being
really.
honest, you kind of stole all the good training exercises when you murdered everyone else in the forest.
And then
Yeah.
basically
Oops.
almost in the entire town.
Yeah, so there weren't a lot of opportunities for people to kind of steel themselves to how combat works. But yeah, there are definitely veterans who would probably handle it even better than you would. But to Corin's point, they're not the ones keeping watch. They're new people that are potential scouts kind of thing, or new just guards kind of thing, and
There are people better than us, but Shade was somewhere else, and we had to chase her down.
true, because she was either kidnapping or rescuing a prince, depending on how you look
Right.
at it.
Probably a bit of both.
I
Since one happens
I
in the other, bud.
think in the U.S. legal system it would be kidnapping.
Yeah, but she may have also inadvertently saved Brightwood's life because
Inadvertently, she did it on purpose.
She saved a life, and the prince didn't seem,
Too upset to be
under
taken
duress
away.
while he was with
Yeah.
Shade. He actually seemed a little upset when he realized she wasn't staying with him at the temple. So,
I mean, you hang out with a guy named Boars long enough.
yeah,
yeah.
it's probably.
Sorry, anybody named Boars out there?
I don't think so.
Right.
I definitely got it from both just the human names in the player handbook, but also wasn't that one of the knights in the Clive Owen King Arthur movie?
Yes, in the Clive Owen King Arthur movie. Yes, he was the one with all the
just
kids.
axes the ice before getting murked. Sorry, spoilers, but it's like a 2003 movie, so
No, that was Daggety. Boars was the big guy with all the kids.
Yeah, weren't they the same people? Or did they both die on the ice?
No, Daggity does on the, but I don't know. I don't remember what happens to Boars.
Okay.
This isn't important, but yes, that
Yeah.
character's in that movie.
This isn't important. Let's move on.
There's nothing more important than JT and I remembering specific details about the Clive Owen King Arthur movie, so I can tell whether I need to tag this stream with spoilers or not. But anyways, yeah, he's going to kind of look at all of you and just be like, get some rest, come back here in the morning, we'll have more to talk about. Shade had sent a letter ahead of you returning, and I just want the rest of you to know that this doesn't have to be permanent, and ultimately the choice is yours. But Shade has recommended you all be promoted to full scouts, which is odd to me because I feel like I'm looking at 1 scout, 2 mages, and a heavy. But what do I know? I'm
the
just
mention
the
of the
captain.
heavy.
I am very stealthy.
At the mention of
You
heavy,
now.
Finder's just gonna look around like, who's heavy?
That's true. I
Surely not
honestly,
you.
Not literally.
I almost feel like you should probably still roll with disadvantage, but somehow be less disadvantaged than someone wearing plate
Yeah.
mail, considering how light your steps should be.
Mhm. How much does a full suit of armor weigh?
He weighs
Not that
15
much.
pounds. We looked it
Yeah.
up.
Would I be rolling
Oh.
for that as well?
Because he's
he's not plate mail.
he's chainmail currently, so like literally
Ah.
anyone in this party can pick him up and carry him if they needed to.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Could he
mean-
just
Beautiful.
go completely limp and be like, "Oh yeah,
No.
he's an actual chain shirt"?
Oh my god,
No, I
he's a
cannot.
spaghetti man. Oh,
That would have been useful.
Yeah, when
that
he
would be
goes
so funny.
when he goes completely limp, he just becomes a suit of armor. But
Yes.
So he has a form, but he doesn't necessarily have the mask to go with it.
exactly. But he's
Really is a
going
fart in a bag.
to hand you
Oh,
all.
Corin's gonna like tap Finrar on the shoulder, but he didn't mean it, buddy.
And what?
I'm
What are you
multifunctional,
talking about?
so
Don't worry about
The
it.
other lieutenants may approach you when they realize what Shade has done, and ultimately, if you want to join either of their corps instead, you will have that opportunity. But in the meantime, welcome to the Scouts. So you missed payday yesterday, so this will be your last pay at the rate of 4 gold a week, and you'll be going up to 7 gold a week, like Corin. And also, Shade recommended, based off of the number of enemies you've managed to kill in less than a week, a small bonus for each of you. And so he's going to hand you Scouts badges, which I've already added to your inventory, and then for everyone besides Corin, you're going to get a small pouch with 14 gold in it. Corin's going to get 17.
Oh shit.
Because he was already a scout.
We gained 17 gold and however much for the payday.
You gained 14 gold. So your bonus was 10, and then you missed out on a week's pay because payday was yesterday. So you got your 4 gold from last week, and then a 10 gold bonus for killing a bunch of dudes.
Oh,
hey, do we get more gold if we kill more dudes?
that does feel rough. Realizing
Settle
it, 4
down.
gold's what I spent like on a cup of coffee.
Instead of asking for levels, they've gone to ask for
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah,
Be
Well,
like,
no, it's
okay.
It's like when you first start working and you're like, oh, this loaf of bread costs 30 minutes of my time. And you're like, maybe I don't need
So
to
much-
eat anymore.
that was a week's pay was straight
Oh.
like, this
Yeah, it
this
is
is
way
my
worse.
change from brunch. Like,
I already enjoy this badge because it gives me a +1 to perception and survival.
It's
Oh.
true.
So now I'm a -1 instead of a -2.
Oh,
Excellent.
basically a professional watchman now.
Fucking high roller, man.
you have to nerf the fact that he can just stand still in a hallway and be a suit of armor, and so his perception is just really low.
That's true.
I mean, my wisdom, passive wisdom perception's only a 9 now, so still pretty
I
low.
mean, my favorite thing is that I'm now up to a +9 on my stealth, so like,
I did see that, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this, but it was too late. I was like, the deed's been done.
too bad. I have it. It's mine now. You're not getting it back.
And yeah, we'll just kind of do a
Can
long rest for everyone. And
Yeah. Hey, I will ask. Is there anyone with the of the Mage Corps or of certain that persuasion in camp in the garrison and nearby?
literally the full company is here. So
Anyone know any spells that I don't know that I could talk to? Now that I have
did
rank.
okay. I told myself I was going to give him a name before the session, and I didn't. But yeah, you can go try to find the lieutenant who's responsible for the Mage Corps, and we're going to name him
Erwin.
Steven.
Mirabeau.
What race is he?
He's going to be a gnome, and his
Oh.
Oh, you can call him
name
I stand
anything
by
now.
Erwin.
is
Oh,
Yeah, okay, I'm
Alvin
with you on that one.
Dergen.
Oh,
Alvin?
Yep, I'm gonna put,
Okay.
but like spelled in like a really cool fantasy way
No,
of
no,
spelling
no,
it.
no, like the chipmunk. No.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
And
You're just
Please.
saying that because he's a gnome.
Exactly.
I go to the
What was his name? Alvin, what? Oh,
quartermaster
love it.
real quick
Yes.
before I turn in.
I absolutely want to go watch Lorazes make a fool of himself in front of this mage.
Oh,
You.
I'm gonna try and hide from Marcus and Shade about my impending doom.
That's fair. I think Marcus is a little preoccupied. He's not going to look at you twice in this moment. Shade already
Entertain your
kind of
nonsense
knows.
anymore.
Yeah, I know, but like
Yeah.
impending doom because she's gonna tell him, and then he's gonna become less occupied at some point and find me.
but what if she doesn't?
You said he's the Mage Corps lieutenant, right?
Yes. And so, yeah, let's do this for everyone that wants things to do. Fenrir, I'd say you probably passed the quartermaster set up in the courtyard on your way to the governor's mansion, so you already know where he is.
Okay.
Lorazes, you could probably ask one of the normal guards where Alvin is set up and be able to kind of find him relatively easy. So we won't.
Is his brother Simon around?
He's actually back home. He's an inventor.
Oh, an artificer. That's cool.
Yeah.
Got you.
And
Typical.
then Corin
We're gonna
is,
have the full chipmunks. as
Corin
the
is
gnome.
following. God. Who's the other one?
I don't know. That's why I said Simon, because I could not think of the other one.
Alvin, Simon, and
Theodore.
Theodore,
Theodore.
yeah.
Oh my god.
He should be the inventor, right? Isn't Theodore the smart? It doesn't matter.
Simon's the smart
No,
one.
I think you're
Theodore's
right, I think you're right.
the short, stubby one.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's been so long.
Yeah, Theodore's a barbarian gnome.
Perfect. I love that.
Oh my god, that's so good.
And he's the nicest of them all.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just an absolute sweetheart.
Yes.
So Songshen and Duchess, are there anything? Duchess is trying to hide her doom from
Marcus.
her two work parents.
What is Marcus doing? What? Or is he talking to anybody or anything like that?
Or would it be who?
Well, I mean,
I mean, because my part of my impending doom includes the whole, hey, there's a cult after you, and maybe you shouldn't be in camp.
Probably fine.
Are you wanting to stay behind and talk about that?
I probably should.
Okay, so we'll resolve
Probably
that
fucking
for
should.
you. And Songshen, what was your question?
Is Marcus or Shade like doing anything or talking to anybody or anything like that? I just want to wander around and like be nosy, basically,
I would
as I
say
do.
you probably get the um, indication because they're kind of both looking at the rest of you, um, kind of watching you all filter out. Like they're probably going to have an additional conversation with each other.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna stand outside the door then.
Damn it!
Okay.
So much stuff I want to do right now.
All right. So
But I'm gonna go with
uh,
Fancy Man.
let's roll initiative
Um,
for order. No one's getting attacked. But yeah, let's for order of
I nat
which
20'd.
all right. Duchess's
He does have the story beat, so that tracks.
Yeah, that does.
I'm
I
18.
got 6.
Well, you're gonna be listening to my conversation anyways.
oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
What's weird is I'm also using my finicky die right now because apparently that one is liking me right now.
I like dice that have a little bit of spice to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because consistently rolling good makes me feel guilty occasionally, and always rolling bad just makes me hate playing.
Angry.
But I like when the dice decides to tell me what's going to succeed
Apparently,
and
my
what's not.
dice like to go with story beats.
Like
Okay.
I absolutely love nat 20ing on like a sleight of hand to pick someone's pocket, and then like nat 1ing on my first attack roll in a combat we shouldn't be in. That's spicy dice. That's dice
Mhm.
telling me what should happen.
Apparently, my dice just like story beats.
So we'll do Duchess first, which will give Songshen some at least that
Juicy info.
conversation. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then who else got we'll probably have Larazis you can roll for you and Corin since he's basically just following you and it's your thing that you're wanting to do.
What do I need to roll? I got a 15 on that initiative.
Okay. And Fenrir, what'd you get?
Team
What team?
13.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with Duchess. As like everyone else kind of filters out, I'm gonna assume you kind of stop and kind of close the door while you stay in the sitting room.
Yeah.
And they're going to kind of look up from where they're about to start having their own conversation again and look at you expectantly.
Can I just hand Marcus the note that we pulled off the dudes?
Oh, that has your somewhat likeness on it, and did it have a reward? Or no, I think it just had instructions to pick you up alive at all costs, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it has your name on it too, right?
It got my full name. Wait, thing. Notebook.
Okay.
I can check that because I actually wrote down what the hell it actually said.
Oh, thank God. I was like,
yeah, no, it has Liliana Mary Post on it. Mary Post on it. Yep. Mm-hmm. And my parents' names.
Yep. And so he's going to kind of look over the flyer, kind of look back up at you, and so a couple things. I guess I'm to understand that this is your real name, and these people are looking for you, and they've sent some unsavory characters to carry out that task. Is that about the right of it?
Yeah, just about. Thereabouts, you know. Yeah. I'm just gonna, yeah.
So I have two questions for you.
Uh-huh.
What would you like me to call you? And what would you like to do about this?
Answer your first one, just stick with Duchess, because that's about the only thing that people know me as, unless you're someone who raised me or is currently dead in the woods.
Understood.
And you can ask Shade about that. I really don't feel like going through that one again. If you want me to leave, I can, because these specific people have no qualms about killing everybody around to get me.
I don't think
I'm a
we need
dick, but I'm
to.
not that big of a dick.
I don't think you're much of a dick at all, Duchess. But I don't think we need to send you away. Perhaps we can come up with a plan together to. I know you haven't always felt comfortable or at home here, but this company is a family of a sorts, and
There is one other thing I should probably tell you, just in case this comes up and my birth parents actually show up and try and claim me. I may or may not be like 90.
well, now I am going to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
He like chuckles at his own joke. No, I don't care.
Cool, but just in case they come to claim me and they say that I'm not of age yet, we are sticking with me being 110 and
I've got you on the record as a 110-year-old, fully come of age adult wood elf, and unless they have documentation with them that refutes that, and even if they do, it could take so long to make sure it's not a forgery, and all that bureaucratic red tape could just take forever, you know?
mm,
And if they try a more streamlined process, well, I hope they send a lot more men.
well, yeah. Thank you. Shade about any other pieces of this you want to fucking know. I really don't need to go through that whole thing again. And I'm just like, as I'm saying this, I'm gonna be like slinking backward toward the door, kind of thing. Like, I don't want to be here. And like, I'm like,
Uh,
and I'm just gonna open the door and go out.
Shade is
Nope.
going to kind of grab your wrist as you're kind of backing away towards the door. I was going to wait until tomorrow when things settle down, but I think maybe you could use this now. And she's going to hand you an envelope that has a couple lumps inside.
A couple of
Open
what?
What?
it. Kind of
You cut
lumps.
out.
Just
Okay.
like lumps of something inside. She's gonna be like, open it when you feel comfortable or are alone or know you're kind of in a safe space for yourself. But I think
Okay.
it will be something you will enjoy. And she's gonna let go of your wrist and let you continue escaping.
The back end of that sentence cut out. Something that I'll
Enjoy.
one more time.
God damn it.
It keeps just hitting out like
Yeah.
2 syllables of that word.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. It kept cutting out the J.
I was like, if it doesn't pick up, I'm just gonna type it in chat.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but she's gonna
Yeah,
let
specific
She's gonna
It's
let
not
go of
J,
your
which
wrist.
is weird.
Cool. And I'm just gonna slink out and just go poof. Just poof. I'm gonna hit one of my pass without traces before I go to bed and just screw off. Like,
That's
you
fair.
ain't finding me.
I'd make you roll a stealth check, but nat 1's a dirty 20 for you with pass without trace, so I'm assuming you roll a 2 or higher. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, if you're passing without tracing yourself, you can find whatever spot you want, and you will be invisible.
Yeah, I'm gone. I
We're gonna
find a tall ass tree and I'm gone.
which there are quite a few in the governor's yard, and there are a few next to the inn. Y'all hid in the night you spent here, so there are some trees for you to hide in for sure.
Wherever I park my ass is where I'm sleeping, so.
Songshen, you definitely. I don't think they were taking much pains to. Well, I guess roll a perception check, because they probably weren't talking super loudly. It was probably just conversational through a closed door. So
We heard a lot of nervous laughter.
you're definitely
Oh,
gonna pick
wow.
up some.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter. God fucking damn it. I don't roll well as Sankshan.
That's about the same as the perception, like when you were trying to listen in my campaigns. I mean,
Yeah,
it
when I
tracks.
try and like eavesdrop, I do not roll well, which is really annoying.
Well, don't eavesdrop. It's rude.
I have to.
We don't take kindly to people dropping eaves here.
Dropping no eaves.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm just like stood outside the door, just
Attempting to
in.
eavesdrop.
I mean, I'm stood there as if I just don't know where I am and I've completely spaced out, just kind of like looking into the middle distance. But I am very much trying to listen and not succeeding.
So what'd you end up getting? Oh. I wonder if it's doing the thing where it's not actually showing dice rolls on the other screen. Are you rolling virtually or are you rolling yourself?
Wait, she rolled a 5.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you mostly just hear muffled kind of talking behind the door. You do. Um, I'm gonna assume you're not standing right in front of the door because it is something where it's like you could probably listen at
Like
the
5
wall.
feet away from it. Yeah.
So it's like the door's not going to open into you, but you do.
No.
The door opens. Um, Duchess is visible for maybe a moment and a half. You probably get the idea that maybe she's a little. I don't know. Duchess, how would you kind of describe your mood leaving that conversation? Still shaken, a little relieved,
Me and get
conversation
stabbed.
of both.
It is very much a touch me and get stabbed. Because I am not thinking about my surroundings, and it is one of, like, you touch me, I'm not going to realize who the hell it is, and
Oh,
I'm
no.
now looking
Just
for a
gonna
place to
stab.
go. Yeah,
I
no,
just,
you grab, you get stabbed.
I'm gonna post a GIF, but I'm like kind of facing the other direction, and I just look at Duchess like over my shoulder weirdly, as in the GIF of the dog doing the thing.
Amazing. I
No,
love
she
it.
doesn't even, like, she kind of clocks you as there being another person in the hallway, but, like, it's immediate, just, like, her steps are completely silent. It is just completely, like, I step out that door,
Mhm.
and I'm gone.
Oh yeah, I get the hint. I was gonna say hi, and then I'm just like, that's fine. I just watch you leave.
Oh, there is something wrong with her. Okay, leave her alone.
It time.
I think I managed to kill all of Chrome on my PC.
Oh
Oops.
Hell
no.
yeah.
So we're going to.
That's right, buddy.
Oh, it's.
Have you tried downloading more RAM?
I have a decent amount of RAM on my PC that I can't imagine Chrome is using all of, but
It does.
I have I think I had 8 and then I added 16, so I think I'm sitting at 24 gigs of RAM.
Not enough.
Excuse me.
Chrome wants it
It's
all.
never enough for Chrome.
It's never enough for Chrome.
Give me your. Oops. Give me all of your memories.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, so yes, Songshen, for a brief moment, you definitely get the vibe of I should not bother this person, and then she is just gone. And so now we will go to Lorazes, who has kind of asked around, found directions to the lieutenant of the Mage Corps. You were told that he kind of set up shop in what was the barracks of the town watch, which is in the southeastern part of town.
Okay. So I'm going to go and knock on the door. Make sure I'm standing up straight, chest puffed out. I notice Corin following me.
It's definitely going to be like one of those things where there's probably like a guard outside, like who would probably let you in, because this is like it was like a full barracks, and so it's not really like an office situation.
Unfortunate.
But it's probably
Not a good
close.
setting.
It's probably closer to like he probably claimed this area for like his troop, and so he doesn't like have his own tent. He and like his more veteran mages are kind of taking up all the beds in the barracks, and I honestly can't get a second Chrome window to load, so we're gonna test fate and just do this. See if I can crash my computer for a third time tonight.
Fuck yeah, brother.
A 10th time. 3 is not near.
It's like at the very least, at least I'm not just like running WoW because I don't want to accidentally get logged out. So it's pretty much, it's only Chrome. There's Chrome, Discord, and OBS are the things running on my computer, unless you count Spotify, which is not playing. So I would hope I could manage, but maybe it needs a little bit of a restart. Maybe that's what I should do tonight. But anyways, yes, you are going to get to the kind of barracks door, and while all this is happening, we'll just kind of do theater of the mind for now. And it's like your traditional kind of barracks. There's just a lot of beds kind of put pretty close together, and kind of at the very end of the hall, you see what was described to you as, you know, this gnome with kind of fiery red hair and like your traditional kind of military mage robes.
Okay.
And so you can walk up to him all proper with Corin in tow. Let's see.
Yes, I was told to find you if I was looking to expand my repertoire of spells, that you might be able to assist me with that.
Well, that would depend.
Corin's gonna do that thing where you like prop up against the door frame and just watch.
Watching.
Well, that would depend on the spells now, wouldn't it?
Entertained?
Well, I was specifically at this time looking for a scorching ray by chance. That would be very useful to me. Being a scout,
You see him just like kind of snap his fingers, and like his spellbook appears in his left hand, and he's just kind of flipping through. He's like, "Ah, yes, scorching ray. It's a very very basic spell for the mage core here. I
Basic.
could teach you to them.
It would cost me, because I am an evocation wizard, 50 gold per spell level, so of materials and time.
It's just
And yeah.
like copying the spell, right? Like
Yes,
he
I do
doesn't
not
really
take
have
it from him.
he doesn't really
Technically,
have to do anything. He just has to like allow
That's
you to
50.
have access to his spell book.
If it's another mage's spellbook, how it was in 3.5, I think they removed this in 5e. If they're there with you, they can teach you how they did it. But if you had another mage's spellbook and you didn't know specifically how they did it, you had to decode it, and it
Okay.
doubled the amount of time it took to copy the spell.
So he could take you outside and show you a scorching ray.
Yeah. And it would take... I'm trying to find the time. I know it would take 100 gold because it's a second level spell.
Technically, the amount of gold is the gold worth in materials.
Yes. Which is enchanted vellum for a spellbook.
I would say that Lorazis would have things to copy spells based off of you. So I'd say you could just go ahead and subtract the gold, and we'll assume that you had purchased materials, kind of thing.
I am down for that.
'Cause
it
I-
is
Say what
very
you will.
vague
He
on
would be the kind
exactly
of guy
how
who
you
travels prepared for
procure
that.
these things.
Because I honestly feel like that's probably just like a basic thing that a lot of people at the academy would do, especially the more well-off students at the academy would.
Yeah, I would just have like a stack of...
Enchanted vellum, yeah.
Yes.
So we'll work out the details later, but yeah, we'll basically just give you a stack of papers, and then anytime you need to copy a spell, we'll just like retroactively have you pay for it. And then
Gotcha.
there'll probably a limit on the stack, but it won't be a low one, I'm sure. The rest of this is fancy. But
I
yeah,
am fancy.
he's gonna take you out outside, and just kind of is it like somatic? Is that one of the components?
Or a scorching ray. Check. I believe it is.
Yeah. I guess it's not super important. I don't need to perform for people. But yeah, he's gonna perform the motion and or spoken word or hold his arcane focus aloft, because I feel like if it takes a material component, it's not anything that the arcane focus couldn't handle. And you kind of see him shoot out one ray and then a second one and then a third one. He just kind of holds his hand out and kind of expectantly, like, you see? Very easy.
Yes. Thank you.
I feel a little bit bad because I know Corin desperately wanted you to embarrass yourself, and that went somewhat well.
Now,
That's fine with me. I just don't want him embarrassing our entire company in front of the rest of the
That is very
company.
fair.
I mean,
That's true.
I think we all were kind of
Scorching Ray is low enough level that I feel like it's not gonna attract attention. If I went, hey, I need disintegrate. Excuse me? It would be like the response.
I mean,
You never
It's
know
probably
when
gonna
you
be
might
this
need
time.
it.
I'll get there. Don't worry.
All right. So you successfully learn your spell, and I'll have you kind of, I guess, scamper off to wherever you wanted to sleep tonight. And we will move on to Fenrir, who is looking for the quartermaster. So we're just going to use one of my old guard tokens for that, which might be troubling, I know, because usually we associate these tokens with bad guys, but not this time. There we go. Yeah, so he's kind of set up his tent like in this inner courtyard in the initial kind of entryway of the city. Like this is where a lot of like the merchants kind of set up their shops as well. So there's a lot of spaces for this. And yes, you approach the quartermaster's tent that you had passed on your way to the governor's mansion.
Hello. I'm sir.
Ah, Fenrir. It's been a few days since I've seen you the last time. How are things?
Uh, guessing my recruitment stage is done, I guess. And I'll show him the scouting badge.
Uh, you know, there's always been talk around camp that Shay just gathers up everyone that shows even the hint of promise. I could have sworn Thoradin would have had his eye on you if only he knew you existed.
Yeah.
What can I do for
Always-
you?
I was looking for better armor.
Well, uh, if what kind of armor do you think you're looking for?
Well, technically, anything that doesn't make me sound like a hollow tin can would be very helpful.
Are you thinking of something lighter?
Well, I do prefer more heavy armor, but I know we probably do not have anything that'll make me as dexterous.
No, if we're being honest, as few occasionally, and normally this comes from the heavies, I might get a requisition to replace recruit's chainmail with full plate, but I feel like that would make you sound even more like a clinking, empty bucket of what? How did you phrase it?
Empty
Art
tin
and about
Empty tin can. Song should just cast
From the
message.
Finner ignores it completely.
Blatantly, yeah.
Now, if you got your hands on some mithril, I've heard it sounds much quieter than your run-of-the-mill armors.
Yes, that's what I was also hoping for, but I doubt we have that.
Unfortunately, it's a bit too uncommon for your run-of-the-mill kind of equipment repo. But if any do pass into my hands, I'll be sure to try to set it aside for you.
Thank you, sir. And he'll walk away.
All right. So finally, before we all go to sleep, we'll come to Song Shen, who I'll give one final chance to drop some eaves. So
Ugh.
give me another
I would-
perception check.
Oh, please. do the thing.
Can I help
That is for
said action?
No, I'm probably like miles away from you. It's fine. I like my brain shut off, I guess.
I cast bless from miles away.
Blessed.
I believe in you.
Not
I'm
really,
not a
but
fart.
Why?
I feel supported from a distance in a way that I definitely don't deserve.
Yeah. Um, I will say you failed well enough that you are not going to hear much more than kind of continued muffling. It lasts for longer than their conversation with Duchess did.
Mm.
But you won't fail so badly that, like, as you kind of hear the conversation die, and you know footsteps are about to be coming towards the door, you will have the opportunity to not be caught eavesdropping. You just won't get any information from your eavesdropping.
Well, the thing is, I don't move. I do the exact same thing I do when Duchess came out, and I just flip my head back and look. Probably not quite as dramatically, because that would be a bit abnormal, but I definitely just like look in a weird way. Hello.
No, you should do it that dramatically. It would be hysterical to see Marcus's face.
Yeah. Shade will go out first, closely followed by Marcus, and you kind of do your hair flip, head and
Oh,
or hair
entire head,
flip.
yes.
the breaking of bones.
Yeah.
You kind of see. I feel like if I were a better writer, I could pull this off. But like Shade's eyes kind of tightened like they would like when you're like kind of smirking, but like not in a I don't like you kind of way, like funny kind of way.
Mm,
Um
yeah.
and then Marcus is just gonna like kind of pinch the bridge of his nose and sigh.
Yeah, I do
And
this to him a lot.
Good. We're a group of little shits.
get
Hey,
get whatever rest you need. And he just walks away.
Bye,
He's,
guys.
I take offense to be
he
called a little shit.
yeah. He had one group of new recruits kill, like almost start a second war with the elves because they couldn't tell that they weren't actually in any danger, and now he's just got the worst eavesdropper just staring at him.
I basically, at this point, I'm very good at eavesdropping. Normally, I should be technically. He's just very used to me just being outside of his tent or the room he's in or anywhere he goes and is with another person.
Do feel like I remember you telling me that Song Shen just typically finds whoever she deems as the most interesting
Oh, 100%,
and
yeah.
follows them around for a bit until she finds a new interesting person.
Yeah, I'm very much trying to gather information and just learn things about interesting people. I just don't roll good in game.
That'll happen.
As is unfortunate.
So, I think that wraps up everyone's desired pre-sleep or meditate or pretend to be a inanimate object thing. So, anything else y'all want to do as you kind of, whoops, wrong one. Find where you've decided to sleep and
I'd like to take a look in that envelope once I find myself a nice tall sturdy tree.
Yeah. So you climb up into a nice tall sturdy tree that honestly you've probably been used to sleeping in trees for or meditating in trees for a while because you are rarely ever found in your actual tent/bedroll.
And
You set it up and
correct.
then immediately leave it.
Yes.
And so you open this envelope, and inside is a note, a kind of smooth, polished stone, and a ring that is made out of yellow gold. Has three very thin bands that kind of all twist together, kind of almost giving it like the feel of like tree roots making a ring. And on top of it sits a very large circular blue sapphire set in a halo setting with some ruby, like smaller rubies, topaz, and citrine kind of surrounding it in the setting.
Okay.
And as you kind of inspect it back and forth, you can kind of see like a dancing flame inside the blue sapphire.
And what's the note say?
And so you pull out the letter and you start to read it, and it says, Lils, the joy I felt upon seeing you alive, and the fear I now feel knowing that you are not safe and I cannot accompany you, are equal in measure. I have given this letter, along with some personal effects, to your superior shade, and I am hopeful that she has passed them on to you the moment you have a chance to rest. One is one half of a sending stone pair, the mate to which I have in my own possession. Let us not go decades again without speaking, shall we?
A what hair?
A sending stone.
Oh, okay, there we go.
The other item is my order ring, a gift I am not entirely sure I am allowed to offer, but it is done nonetheless. Should you find yourself no longer running or hiding and wish to join me back in Cyanidel, I hope that ring would make quite the positive introduction for you to my order. Please take care of yourself, and I vow by the sparks Acra uses to create fire and by the wind that Atala uses to make that fire into a raging inferno, that I will find those who hunt you, and I will burn their existence so completely from this world that only ash will float through Verith's gates. Conifer.
Oh my god.
Fucking love Conifer.
What a fucking
First
baller.
of all.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Second of all, I'm going to read that last little bit, and I'm immediately gonna call Conifer. Immediately.
Hey bitch, got your letter.
Yeah, no, I'm immediately gonna call him. Does he pick
The
up?
moment that
Sending stone that only gets used once a day.
the moment Varith crosses from someone's lip, Finrick gets a shiver down his non-existent spine.
I thought you'd
No, and,
appreciate
like,
it, yeah. And
I
yeah,
feel like the
he would.
bellowing is going to be heard from where she is. Like, she's gonna have to find a different place to sleep because she's gonna, like, the bellowing is going to be heard around camp.
Yes,
And even Marcus is gonna be like, oh shit.
he absolutely picks up.
On.
Yeah,
Don't get
Lils?
yourself killed doing this.
Oh, please.
You get yourself killed, I am coming to the underworld to pick your ass up and drag your ass out.
Well, that'd make quite the story now, wouldn't it?
Do not get your ass killed.
Oh, please. They'll have to send better than what they sent last time if they want to take any action against me.
They fucking will. That is the problem.
What a
I
fucking
promise not to go after them directly immediately when I don't have to. But I'll call you if I hear anything, you know?
You can't see my face, but I'm being very judgmental right now. You get yourself killed, I'm going to march my ass back over there and drag your ass out myself. And then I'm going to kill you again and do the same thing again. Because
Just,
you will not get yourself killed doing some stupid shit trying to do this.
I'm gonna need you to kind of keep me up to date on where you are so that I know where to send these cauterized heads.
Did you already fucking do it?
Not yet. I still have to report back to the order, get a new ring. Can't activate my fire glaive without my ring. But yeah, you know, if they ask for volunteers to patrol this area of the woods and keep our ears to anything happening, I might take them up on that. And I might kill as many people as I can. And I might find a way to brag about it to you.
Oh my god, I love this guy. What the
Don't get
fuck?
yourself killed, please. I have had enough death in the family.
I love this Big Brother vibe.
Ah.
Is that what you're getting from this? I'm not getting that from this.
What are you getting from this?
Not Big Brother vibes, bro. No,
I'm getting the
Oh.
overprotective Big Brother vibe from it.
you're a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the people in camp heard me threaten to walk my ass down to the underworld and pull his ass out if he
Can I
doesn't stay
follow
alive.
Can I
That's-
follow the sounds of
Yeah.
yelling?
You definitely can't. I'd say this is the most probably anyone's actually heard Duchess speak in as loud a tone as she is speaking. It's the first time this has ever happened.
And they're like, who the hell is on that receiving end of that?
Yeah, like-
Jesus!
There have been
But-
people present for like her literally being a little shit to Marcus, and it was not this loud.
It's
Can I find the tree and just look up at her? Like, are you okay?
Can we roll a perception check to hear her?
Yeah, do it with advantage because she's not
Okay.
being stealthy at this point.
bellowing over here. I'm like full on like yelling at this man.
That poor man.
I got a 15.
So did
Yeah.
I.
Um,
Oh wait, with advantage? Hold on. Nope, I got a 15.
yeah, you definitely find the tree that she is in.
Like me.
I just
She-
want to hear her as
Yeah.
Lorazis and I are walking back to wherever the fuck.
You might still not be able to see her because she did set herself up to be like hidden from the ground, but you definitely can tell exactly where she should be because the noise is traveling directly to your ears from there.
Vinny's
and-
just gonna post up underneath the
Yeah.
tree.
And you kind of hear from the other end of whoever she's shouting at, I'll take care of myself, you take care of yourself, and we can meet back up and exchange stories.
I will-
Promise?
Find a way to get my ass to you. Do not get hurt.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Can I roll an insight?
Yeah.
That's how much of a dumbass. Because you know what? I had to get it from somewhere. Okay. Is it 11.
Okay, yeah. He definitely doesn't sound like he's gonna do anything super reckless. Well, any more reckless than going head to head with an order of hunters that typically don't care who they kill. But he's not gonna he's not gonna go on like an Archer style rampage where he's just alone. But yeah, he's definitely gonna do what he said. If the opportunity comes up and they ask for volunteers to be part of a company that patrols this part of the woods, he's going to be in it. And if he's able to kill a few people and send you some heads as tribute, he's going to do it.
Can I finish out the conversation in like a much more like sweet tone of voice and tell him literally everything about the cult and what I know about the hunters?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of listen, and at the end he'll be like, thank you. I will pass this information on. I'll be sure that all of us know to be careful.
Make me one promise.
Sure, kid.
Don't go at this alone.
I mean, if they're going to send groups of people after you, it's only fair that we send groups of people after them.
And don't even think about going across the sea to even try and find them. please?
I won't go across the sea.
Thank you. Now, love you. Thank you, big brother. And I'll just end the call there.
Fenrir hear this as he's posted underneath the tree.
Yeah. I'd say you don't hear it as clearly, but you also kind of already knew probably maybe about half of kind of the cult story from the morning of when Duchess kind of filled y'all in a little more on who y'all killed in her old home. But yeah, you probably catch a good portion of the other half of stuff when she's telling Conifer everything.
It's like the very sweet tone, like the very end is like the very sweet tone of voice of do anything and I'm gonna kill you myself.
Brynjar's not going to say anything. He's just going to post up right there.
The rest of the camp's probably like, oh shit, whoever she just railed is fucked.
Crazy.
JT, you're a child.
Yeah.
I just realized that as I said, I bellowed at Con that like I've been a very quiet character this whole time.
Absolutely no one in this company has heard that decibel level from you.
At all.
Even remotely close to it, yeah. Like, there have been people where it's like when you're being your shittiest version, little
Marcus?
shittiest person, yeah, to Marcus. Like, if they're in the area, it's like they can hear you talking, but it's like this is the first time where like people not directly next to you just heard you shouting at someone. And it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Like, ooh, somebody's in trouble. Oh god. Okay, happy me. Then I'll just settle down, maybe move to a different spot in the tree and sleep.
And while I'm doing that, I guess I'm testing fate. I'm opening up a third tab on my second Chrome window.
3 whole tabs in one window. You
OBS,
madman.
OBS has also just been really pissed at me this entire night. I think I've disconnected and reconnected like 6 times.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be fun watching the VOD back and there being 6 20 to 30 minute sections of it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
I'm gonna add the items I told you about to your inventory, Duchess. If there's anything anyone else wants to do as like last thing before you fall asleep, let me know.
Also, what time did we even get there? Because, like, I guess my question should be, did I wake up half the camp?
So I'd say you got there as like night is falling, which would kind of coincide with Marcus saying he was going to wait about an hour before releasing the elven prisoners. Kind of feels like he was waiting until like the very dead of night to do so. So there are probably some people that were asleep and some people that were fully awake because it'd probably be like somewhere between 9 to 10 o'clock. So the early to bed, early to rise people are probably in bed, and everyone who's like, nah, we can play a few more games of dice before we have to do anything are still up.
Okay. So yes, I did wake up some of the camp. Oops. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, so I think
in the morning.
added the ring. No, here. I added them both to your backpack. I'm going to. So I moved the ring to your equipment, and I added the sending stone to your backpack.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely Travis is right. You get 1 per day, but we're about to do a long rest, so no sense in doing anything with that charge. Yeah. So that's in your inventory, and the ring does require attunement, and I didn't actually put attunement notes in it. Usually requires you to actually be a member of the Order of Embers. It's like the last thing you receive as part of like your initiation into the order. But you're going
Right.
to bypass that with kind of your bond with Conifer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to attune to it, you are able to do so.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I immediately asked if anyone else was doing anything and then zoned out because I was adding things to inventory. So if you spoke up, technically I did ignore you, but not on purpose.
I am going to play my fiddle through a chunk of the night.
Finwer is going to do
It
something, but it's going to
is
be
not a good time.
Jesus.
I'm
Oh my
practicing a new song. I'm trying to get it down. It's rough.
Where are you camped out at?
Me? Anywhere. Where's the
Somewhere.
center of where everyone can hear my fiddle?
You son of a
Ugh.
bitch. You son of a bitch.
Probably the courtyard.
Ugh.
Are you?
Okay, that's where I'm not at.
Did you set up your fun little tent and you're just playing your fiddle at your desk?
Oh, that would actually be bitchin' in the middle of the courtyard. Yes. Like in the middle of the like in the way of shit is my tent.
You son of a bitch.
Asshole.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes, gladly.
I've lost my phone.
Just imagine Shade's going to be coming up like, put it out.
Stop that.
Stop it.
He's just
Stop
trying
it.
to. He's trying to learn Thunderstruck, and it's a hard thing for him to do.
Playing it, but like at a quarter speed, so it just sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
So it's like usually you spend some time at your desk before you kind of go into your high elf tranceness, and you might be sitting in like one of your more comfy chairs as you try to learn Thunderstruck on the fiddle, and you notice the sound of like a scratching quill on one of the papers that are on your desk.
Oh no.
Hey, what is that? What that do? What that be? I'm gonna investigate that, and that is what. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
So you cease your subpar playing and walk over to where there's a piece of parchment on your desk, and you see words appearing as if someone is in real time writing a letter to you. And it says, Lorazes, when I allowed you to take holiday away from home between semesters, I had assumed you would continue your studies so that you would not tarnish the Maniflo name when you return to the academy. However, you have been on holiday for weeks, and you have not once attempted the use of your enchanted parchment. I am forced to assume that you either have not learned yet how to detect magic, or you have become so careless that you do not use it when bedding down for the night. Whether ignorant or sloppy, a blemish this makes all the same. Now that I have written you, you must understand the workings of it. If you cannot muster sending for your reply, message will allow for shorter messages, if that is all you are capable of. Signed, Counselor Peleus Maniflo, Amethyst Archmage of Evocation. Postscript, if I have not received your reply by next semester's start, Reginald will travel personally to the academy to check on you. Do not disappoint. And you would also know that your father does not do postscripts. He has gone on record saying that a postscript is evidence of an unorganized mind because if it was important enough to write down, it should have been important enough to include in the letter's body proper. And so the fact that this one came with a postscript would imply that he is quite in a huff.
Oh god.
Uh-oh, your dad's pissy.
Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble.
Well,
Just, well.
first of all, Mildly offended. Also slightly terrified.
Do you have message or sending?
Can I go back a level and like sending is higher level,
Yeah.
but I do not have. I have passed up the message many a time.
You definitely have time before the semester starts. You'll probably get at least 1 or 2 more level ups, right? But that is funny to me.
Can I reply to his like writings by writing, similar to the
I was
sending?
supposed to say, can't he
spell?
just send a letter? Like, I'm confused.
Oh, he
Is that what that
100%
department is for?
could send a normal letter and put it in like the post.
Let other people touch the things he's written.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god, never mind. I forgot I asked such a silly question. Oh my god. You can't let the plebs touch your mail. Sorry, fuck.
Also, you can't let your dad know that you're technically a pleb if you're using the post.
Imagine touching paper. Oh god.
Oh, if I reply with the post, he might hurt me.
Oh,
Disown you?
it's like right here, taking a humanity class, joining a foreign nation's army, and just smack dab in the middle, using the regular post to send a letter.
Just like there is a fear
I'm
that
gonna
he
s-
like
I'm gonna
somehow
send him-
scryed on me while I was
Yeah.
poorly playing Thunderstruck.
It's like you couldn't even find you couldn't intimidate a druid to cast animal messenger. You had to just use a person. They
Yeah.
rode here on a horse.
On a horse.
Oh,
You should have seen the garden.
Ugh.
The trampling on the cobblestones woke your mother.
And they tracked dirt all over it.
Yeah. It was barely noon.
who walks on the cobblestones? Like, oh, don't they know about teleportation?
Christ Jesus, I
Extremely
hate this
rude.
whole family.
It's not even a real family at this point.
Yeah.
We're just making fun of them. We're
Just-
like, oh, I hate those guys.
Corin's list of enemies go the Brightwoods, just a knuckle underneath that, the mana flows, and then going back and forth between above and below them, the people responsible for killing everyone he's ever loved.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah, solid third on the list.
Could you
is
send
all
me
of my actual enemies.
what
Yeah.
he wrote to me?
Yes.
So that I can prepare a response while I learn how to reply?
Absolutely, I
God.
can.
Amazing.
I need
do
to
enjoy
somehow.
the idea that you do this in
You need to
character.
go to, like, say, Songshen or Fenrir to get, like, the most not, like, uncouth way of saying things, but in the most polite way.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I would also need to never tell them that I was talking about
Right.
saying that to my father.
Right.
Let me talk to your dad, Travis.
Yeah.
I am positive at this point you will get the opportunity at some point.
Loraz is just
Oh.
hand
Yeah, don't-
Songshen a platinum, be like, can you write a letter for me if I dictate it?
He's-
Meanly
yeah.
polite letter, yes.
Yeah, forget sending. Travis needs alter memory.
You actually
not bad.
forgot to send me with an enchanted parchment. This is a completely
Weird.
different guy. Never call here again.
You got the wrong address. Crazy old man.
New
Yeah.
parchment, who dis? Anyways,
I need to pay some postman to send a physical letter, and it's just
Yeah.
message failed to send, like manually replied to.
And very clearly in your handwriting.
Yes.
just give him a read receipt.
Oh.
He accidentally
Oh.
he accidentally addresses it dad or some shit.
Daddy, please.
Yeah.
Can I post date a red receipt so that he doesn't know that I got it when I got it? No.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll leave Lorazes to panic for a moment and sit in that. Fenrir, I think you were saying you wanted to do something.
Is there any place that would resemble what I have been encountering so far. Namely a cemetery.
Oh, yes. I will have to remember where it is, but yes. Let's see here. I want to say southwest.
Is it out of the city?
No, they're so like in the southwest corner of town. It leads out to the docks further west, but just the north of the chapel is a graveyard, like a fenced-in graveyard. So,
Yeah, he's gonna go up there.
oops. Oh, wrong one. I was right the first time. Okay. And we'll add your little guy,
Just a tiny boy.
your little tiny boy, your 15-pound special boy.
Oh my god.
And then we'll just do a quick little zoom for the people back home. Yeah. So there's a nice little cemetery.
And I'm guessing most of these don't have headstones or anything else like that.
Not a lot of them, no.
He is going to kneel at the one that looks fresher than the others
Okay.
and just pray. To this unknown entity that he somehow has been getting in contact from.
Yeah. Give me a religion check.
Yeah, sure.
Followed the wrong character.
Well, you followed
Yeah,
the
you did.
you
did.
followed the right character. You just followed him at the wrong time. You need
That's true.
You need
yeah,
to eavesdrop on him on him
Oh.
stopping playing the fiddle to read his dad's angry note.
You said
Okay.
religion?
Having to, if I had
Yeah,
to explain
religion.
that to somebody right now, I probably would have broke down. I would've
Papa,
just been
no.
like,
Damn it!
no.
I'm fuck.
No, but listen.
That is
Well,
a
now
Ignorance.
I'm mad.
What if I took like a whole time, like a year, just a small gap year? It's fine.
Oh yeah, gap year to like find yourself.
I'm working on foreign relations, father.
Oh my
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's your public service requirement.
god. A man flow taking a gap year. Fenrir, what'd you say your religion was?
It was a 13.
Okay. You just kind of you don't get like the same feeling that you got when you were at Duchess's parents, because you're not really doing anything kind of that specific. You're just kind of praying over kind of the freshest grave, but you do still get something back, and it just kind of it almost feels like a wave, as if someone you are familiar with is greeting you.
I know.
Do you know?
He was asking you.
I was repeating the question to make sure I heard it right. Yeah, you know.
Why am I like this? What brought me back to this? And he looks down at himself and takes off his helmet and places it on the grave form.
Inside for your own beauty.
Okay. So
He
I'm
also placed the holy symbol that
he doesn't,
was
but
around.
everyone see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you roll insight because I know you suck at it, and that would just feel rude. So, because of this, it's still like you're not getting words, you're not getting images, you're just kind of getting these feelings. Like it feels weird. You're vibe checking a grave. Um, so it goes from like this kind of familiar greeting to um, as you feel that, and then you ask these follow up questions, you kind of get this feeling of just like intense sadness, and then the connection gets severed.
Would you say that he's got this feeling deep inside of him?
I am going to punch you.
You can do that this week. Yay!
He is just going to stay kneeled there the entire time.
Sounds good. All right. I think that covers most of us. Songshin and Korin, or is there anything that you want to try to accomplish before turning in for bed?
I mean, when I start hearing the yelling from Duchess earlier, I would have started to wander outside, and then probably gotten distracted by Lorazis's tent, and then just posted up outside the tent. Much in the same way I do to Marcus, I'm just stood outside the tent, staring into the middle distance, listening to the terrible, terrible fiddling, and then as he got his letter.
So
And then
you're in the courtyard next to Lorazis. All right.
Just imagine you hear me like fiddling and then stop,
yes.
and then you
And
can
then
visibly hear the.
And yeah, I hear the of the fiddle stop, and then I hear you go, oh.
Shit, fuck.
Oh,
That was like me when I cut my hand. Just shit.
That's not good.
No,
That's
no,
not
no,
good.
no.
That's not good.
That was precisely it.
Whoopsie!
And you just stay in my body, blood. I can't have you leaving.
I don't need the mega response to kick in now.
I didn't even know this was a thing that could happen.
Exactly. How am I so good with other people's blood, but I fainted the side of mine?
I like the idea that Lorazis gets to the PS and goes, Daddy, no. Please. Oh, God.
I'd tell you guys that story later. It's funny.
One of my like more prominent scars, and I say that as if I have many, but no. I literally cut myself on a plastic seed display at the like plant nursery I worked at.
Applaud.
And I cut myself so deep that it's still there, and it's just a nice little hump right on my palm. But I remember walking up to my boss, and like the blood had kind of like pooled into like the center of my palm, and I just walked up to her and showed her my hand. It was like, "Hey, I'm like Jesus," because I was like doing the stigmata thing. She was like, "Go wash your hands," and that was it.
Yeah, no.
I cut myself so bad I was just
really
like bleeding,
good.
and she was like, "Fucking wash your hands, man! What are you doing?"
Like, I'm really good with other people's blood. I can see blood, I can see gore, I can see a lot of different things. But, like, I dropped the bowl in the sink, and I cut my hand. It was a porcelain bowl. And it was a deep cut, and it was a really clean cut. And, like, so, do any of you know what the vagal response is?
You say a bagel response?
Vagal.
That is what I heard.
Then no.
So, essentially, it's when your body essentially goes into fight or flight, but it can't punch. It can't punch the cut, and it can't run from the cut. So essentially, your body just pulls a forced shutdown and resets.
Oh, so you faint.
So it's essentially, when your computer is having a hell of a time and you hit the power button and hold the power button.
It
you
holds
still
the
fight it,
power
yeah.
button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it holds the power button and you
I always
pass out.
imagine I'm smothering my computer when I do that.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I need to suffocate my
This is a
computer.
little off
Yeah.
topic, but my cat did
So
that to
I-
my computer today.
Oh.
I was like, "This is not a fucking jungle gym, Regina."
Yeah.
This is a
So
murder.
essentially, like, me, a person who can deal with blood and gore, like, my body just kind of went, let me just do a forced reset. And I
Sorry,
passed out.
Blue is not responding. Would you like to wait or close windows?
Correct. And like, I think we freaked out the poor nurse who came because she was like, okay, so. And my parents, they know first aid. They were first responders, that kind of thing. My hand's all wrapped up, and I get to the doctors. They're like, okay, from a 1 to 10, and what's your pain level? And I was like, I don't know, a 1. It's not even throbbing. It doesn't hurt. And like, it was a deep cut, but it was a clean cut. It was so clean. It was like, I had pictures. It's great.
It's my favorite cut.
Yeah. Post them, but
Absolutely.
put like a spoiler tag just in case people are squeamish about blood.
You want to see them? Because I have.
Right.
I'd be okay
on
with
the
seeing
first on the first day of Taco Bell opening at my Taco Bell, we had a new hire roll a quesadilla cutter over his finger.
Oops.
And it cut it pretty well, but he rolled it, looked like at the person next to him passed out. He thought he had cut off his finger with it.
Aww.
So
Where is it?
the other scar that I actually have is on my pointer finger, and that's when I realized that some people have sharp knives, and my family just didn't. Because
Oh yeah, same.
anytime that we'd have bagels, I would hold the bagel and I'd get the bread knife going through it, and then once it was in it, I would then prop the bagel on like the cutting board and then transfer my hand and finish it the way through. Went
Oh,
to
no.
my
Oh, I've done that one
sister's,
before.
who has, I guess, real money and bought herself real knives. And I did my normal thing where I'm just like holding the bagel. I'm going to do the 1-2 to get the knife in and then switch my hand. And it just went in like fucking butter. And like,
Oh,
I was already like muscle memory, like on the follow through, cut my finger, and then I still came back and went a little bit deeper in, and I was like, "Oops, my bad." So that's what actual knives do.
oh, my favorite cut I've ever had is I was out shopping with a friend of mine. And she put a hat on my head and caught me in the eye with like the tag, and I was like, "Oh, that's fine, like whatever." Didn't hurt or anything. I was just like, "Ow, my eye! I've been hit in the face." I went home later, and the way I take my makeup off is that I like use an oil remover that I rub into my eyes, and when I rub my eye, I guess squished it a little bit, and the cut that had been done to my actual eyeball opened. And I went, "Oh,
Oh, I
there's
don't
a
like
cut
that.
on my actual eyeball."
The picture I
so that
just
was
sent
great.
is after they put the saline in it,
Oh,
but you can see the cut.
yeah, it's a good fucking cut.
I know,
Ooh,
isn't it?
that
Oh, my
is
favorite-
deep. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I know.
I don't want to look at it. I
Yeah.
don't want to look at it.
All right.
I don't
I
need
put
it.
spoilers.
It kind
I
of
don't
looks like
need
a
it.
fun ring.
All right.
Right?
I honestly am having a blast talking about this, but I'm going to try to get us back on track.
Sorry.
I'm not. I'm probably at least 50% to blame for our current conversation, but I think, Corin, is there anything you'd like to do before you fall asleep? And then Songshen, while I'm here, roll me a luck check.
What check? Sorry.
Luck, so just straight D20. Don't add anything to it.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Oh, you do a lot of those, Fig.
Yeah, I do. Weird. Huh?
Weird.
Is this one gonna do anything fun?
I don't know. You're gonna get a nosebleed and pass out.
I don't know. Am I? Can I bleed?
It's not up
I
to
don't
me
know.
this time.
I don't think I'd classify this as fun, but for the first time
Um,
in a few days, when you do your little meditating thing, you don't
Uh-huh.
have a random vision.
Oh, hey.
And so,
I-
Corin, what were you wanting to do?
Well, I guess Corin would drop Lorazes off because it was following Lorazes around, right? And so he follows him into the
Oh,
in the courtyard. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Then he sees him get the tin out, and he's like, "Okay." All right. So he watches him put the tin up.
Put it in the middle of fucking.
Yeah, just in the middle of the fucking thing, and I fucking sigh and put my hands on my hips. I'm like, "God damn it, this fucking kid." And he goes inside, and I'm thinking like maybe I should be nice and like try to make friends with him. So I'm like thinking about going into the tent and just like hanging out with him. And then he starts playing the fiddle, and I'm no, fuck that.
No, just immediately like, ah.
So that overcame all my better instincts.
I
And
was
so-
wrong.
Yeah, no
Tried
feelings.
to
We
be
don't need
nice
those.
today.
Everyone,
I couldn't do it.
everyone I love dies anyway. It's fine. So, Corin is just gonna go to. I assume there's a galley somewhere and just get something to eat because I'm human and still need to eat. You
Yeah.
guys are whatever.
Uh,
But Corin wants some ale and something to eat.
yeah,
So
there are
he's gonna go get
definitely
that.
a couple bars that are a little bit scant on like sleeping arrangements, but have beer and they have like a working kitchen, so you are fully able to get yourself
Is the guy
like
that
a
we
non-ration
before?
meal. I guess that'd be up to
Perfect.
Corin. There's one.
Actually,
He's probably going to the other one if he's coming from Laraz's tent because
Corin,
That's-
shortly after you've gotten
that's
into
just
your
directly
meal, I
east.
enter the bar and start drinking.
Oh, if that
Shit.
happens, I would love
Yeah,
to
that
do
makes sense to me.
that makes
sounds-
sense to me too. Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Like, nope, yep, this for sure.
He's like, "Do you have any wine?" Nope. Whatever.
Any wine? No. Do you have any champagne?
Yeah.
No.
Do you have any wine from like
Corin-
the southern Elven Kingdom?
yeah,
Corin
yeah,
puts his
Absolutely
fucking
not.
hand up and he's like,
Do you have a
Get him an ale.
Porto Bueno? All right. What do you have that will give me a similar effect, like the woozy feeling after drinking a lot of wine? Puts like bit whiskey on the table.
Yeah. He gives you a shot of fantasy moonshine, then pours you just like a tall boy of ale.
Just take it.
Or what is it,
Grimace
like
a little bit.
like a Brewster glass? There we go. That
Yeah,
nice
there we go.
22-ounce one. Yeah. he sees
No,
the vibe.
So
Bartenders are
Corin-
great at vibe
Corin
checks.
takes his fucking pint and he gets up and he walks over and sits down next to Laraz's and he orders another shot. And the guy brings the drinks over. And Corin looks at Laraz's and takes the shot and drops it in the fucking beer and just drinks the whole fucking thing. He's like, there you go.
What? You can do that?
See, you're on holiday, but you're still learning. Your dad doesn't even know what he's talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I would actually, Corin, you would count this as a holiday, right?
Oh, 100%.
100%. See, yes. All right.
What
That's
else
I
would you
thought.
do on a holiday?
Exactly. See,
Let's kill people.
that's right.
Oh, that's work, but also fun.
Yeah.
They say don't mix business and pleasure, but that's obviously nonsense.
Oh, man, I can't even remember what movie it's from. But it's like they say don't mix in business and pressure, but then, oh, where does a putt-putt golf course come from or something like that?
I don't know, but that's awesome.
That's a
Which
good
is
line,
true.
actually.
Like,
Very
if
true.
I feel like if I owned a putt-putt golf course, I would be constantly mixing business with pleasure.
Yeah.
That or a trampoline park.
I mean, yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right.
Shit.
So we will allow everyone to. Well, I'll give Larazis and Corin an opportunity to continue role playing with each other if they wish, and then we will finish out the night with
If
everyone.
I'm not directly
waking up.
questioned, I will keep conversation light and towards drinking.
That sounds great. So I've completely gotten over my inclination to get to know him right now. So I'm fully committed to just getting him drunk. Because he seems like he needs
reasonable,
it.
absolutely reasonable.
You're gonna be my best friend.
Yeah, he seems like he needs it. And very much in standard drinking, buddy. I only want to talk if he wants to talk, and he doesn't seem like he wants to talk. So let's just get fucked up.
Can I get a con save from
Oh fuck yeah, you
you
can.
sure
Larazis? And I feel like, well, let's do a con save for both of you, but I want disadvantage from Larazis. Because I feel like
Understand.
you don't usually drink like this.
I like once was. Oh, this is gonna be really bad.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
you said disadvantage. Let's see if I roll lower than a 3.
if he gets
All
in
right.
that one.
It's a 3.
Okay.
Oh, I was hoping
Um,
for that one.
You have
Whoa.
like the worst headache. Like you do have the scorching ray spell, but like
What did it cost?
knife to your throat, you could not cast it in this moment.
fair.
Like it's in your spell book. You remember learning it. If someone was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't set those 3 scarecrows on fire," you would die.
Understandable.
Corin, what's your con save?
22.
You say
You're
22?
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19 plus 3.
You like you don't do this super often, but somewhat regular. So yeah, you're fine. You know that the secret is you drink
Hydration.
you drink some water, yeah, between each drink.
Mix it in water.
Yeah. Because a lot of the hangovers are caused by dehydration. And so, you just mix in like you've got a constant stream of both.
I
And-
neglect to include this information.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, did you just not tell me that?
And you also
100%.
you make multiple trips to the privy, and so you're basically just cycling it through. And you wake
Oh,
up
yeah.
and you're like, that was a fun night. Maybe Lorazis doesn't suck so much. And Lorazis is like, I think I'm broken.
Yeah.
I might not be a
maybe it's
wizard
food
anymore,
poisoning?
and I need to be a
Maybe it's-
wizard because my dad's
What-
already mad that I'm not as good of a wizard as I should be, and now I might not even be one at all.
Actually, yeah. If I got
Breaks down crying, yeah.
completely smashed, would you have listened to me if I tried?
Oh god. I think I'd have to roll another con save.
Oh my god.
Charisma saving
it,
throw.
do
baby.
it.
Yeah.
Do it.
You can choose whether or not to know everything wrong with the fact that my father has many expectations, and
Oh
I
my
just want to
God.
impress him, but I don't want to be him or near him.
Oh my god, I don't even want to roll. I want to fail on purpose. I want to know all of this.
All right.
You know I have daddy issues there. That's
Oh my god.
I didn't do it.
oh Jesus.
Just he chooses to fail.
He chooses to fail. I don't want to remember that night.
Man, I wanted to, as we kind of resume the day back in the sitting room, I wanted to make you poisoned and maybe exhausted, even though technically you wouldn't be either, just to show off that you're hungover. And
Yeah.
VTT is not playing nice, so I guess you'll just look normal. Whatever.
I will roleplay it. It's fine. I'm not having.
So
Is he not as snarky self?
So Corin comes bebopping into the sitting room with another pint of ale. Like, hey, good morning. What's up, guys?
I am going to move Corin to
Looking
just
darkly pleased with myself.
much closer to Lorazis as he's,
I
he's
want to
got
make sure he smells it. Yeah.
he's got himself a nice walk me down.
Before I head back to the governor's mansion, I'm passing through each of the grave sites and just giving a silent prayer to them,
Absolutely.
and then I'll head back over there.
All right.
When we get in, I'm just leaning against the wall, looking darkly pleased with myself. Like, I have imparted my wisdom upon Conifer. He should listen. I did.
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
I imparted my wisdom upon anyone who listens to me in the bar last night.
Because I have more pull over Conifer than you do over your dad, and
Oh, so much more. Like no one has pull over my dad. Are you
Yeah.
fucking kidding?
Definitely
It's like I guess
Dinner,
technically the king does, but
Yeah.
not much.
Maybe in front of the king, my dad would be like, "Oh yes, of course, sir." Then outside, it'd be like, "Man, what a chotch!
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
He cares about the will of the people."
Gross.
Of course, my king, I'll get right on that. Fuck no, I'm not doing that. What the fuck?
Oh, it was very difficult to pull off, but we
Yeah.
finally, reduced taxes by 2%. I know it's very difficult.
But the peasants didn't thank us enough, so we raised them back by 5%.
Yeah.
We all win. Ha ha!
Yeah, the citizens were actually not pleased with that. They want to give the kingdom more money. They want to see it succeed.
And then
So
it
we need to
trickles down.
increase taxes.
When we succeed, they succeed.
Of
Anyways,
course.
Fenrir, I think you were doing one more thing.
Yeah, he's just not putting his helmet back on whenever he gets in.
It
He
is spooky.
doesn't put his helmet on.
No.
It is spooky
Oh,
season,
amazing.
so he's going full headless horseman.
Okay.
Is he like carrying it under his arm like a
I
fucking
feel
weirdo?
like, right?
I
Yeah,
love it.
you just got it
Perfect.
cradled in your arm.
Hell yeah.
There was no
Eventually,
glowing eyes for that though.
that would be fun if there's just nothing up top, but like just right there in the crook, there's just a helmet with glowing eyes. But that wouldn't make anatomical sense, I guess. But you also don't make anatomical sense.
So is that how it works? His form is still there, so like he still has quote unquote a head up there, or no?
Yes.
How does that work, Fenrir? Yeah.
So, I don't. It's like it's one of those things. It feels like a Power Rangers like Mechazoid to me, where it's like it's all put together and works as a unit, but it's like I don't know. Yeah,
It's
it's
on
not.
autopilot.
Yeah, he doesn't like have a head. Like there's you couldn't like shoot him in his head now that his helmet's gone. Like his head's not there.
But like if I'm looking at him, like do I see like eyes or anything like that,
No.
or is it just like empty space? Just
Yeah.
this?
And so like when the head's attached, there's something about it being like, being attached to the rest of the armor, which is where the soul resides, and that's where you
Right.
get the glowing eyes. But yeah, once the helmet's off, there's just like there's nothing. It's like fully
So,
full headless.
I know we've
horseman.
talked about this before, like he couldn't like disassemble himself or whatever, but like is your like essence contained in one specific part of the armor, or like is it
It's
like the
mainly
chest
in-
piece? Like
It's mainly in the chest piece, but I
Okay.
need the other parts to be able to move around.
right. You have to embody something in order to
Yes.
move around. Okay. All right. But yeah, so we're just staring at fucking headless horseman ass Fenrir.
Yeah.
With his little empty helmet and the crook of his arm.
Yep.
Which makes sense.
Beautiful.
It is spooky
Perfect.
season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so, I will say one thing y'all notice as you come back in the morning is that once you get past the guards that are like outside the house, there is no one in the interior. And you get to the sitting room where Shade and Marcus are already. Shade's kind of lounging on one of the couches, she doesn't care, but the energy's not super chill. So maybe she's overcompensating for the overall vibe. But yeah, there are no guards, no staff, no scouts, no nothing inside other than you and then Shade and Marcus. And as you all get inside and Lorazis manages to not throw up when Corin walks in with a walk me down, Marcus is gonna look at all of you and be like, I hope
And I like in like a kind of mean spirited way, like slap Raz on the shoulder and be like, "How you doing this morning, kid?" or something like that.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I feel
think-
like that's a rite of passage, right? To be the one
Obviously.
that doesn't get destroyed by alcohol, just making it worse for the one that did. Like, are the lights a little dim? Should we increase the brightness in here? Am I talking
Oh,
loud
I would-
enough for everyone? Like, should I raise my voice a little bit? Like, you are absolutely able to do that. I feel like it'd be out of character not to.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and
I'm really stretching the chaotic and the chaotic good today.
well, some days you want to be more good, some days you want to be more chaotic. It all blends together.
It all evens out. I
Yeah.
still listened to you last night. We're cool.
So Marcus is going to turn to the rest of you and be like, what we're going to discuss here this morning will not leave here.
So we never leave again. I'm holding my head while I say that.
He's gonna pause and look at you and not respond, and then continue on.
Corin's gonna like shake his head and like
For the time being, we're going to send you on a special assignment.
I can hear the finger quotations.
Yeah, same.
With your
Special assignment.
promotion, normally, we send those who are no longer greens to the quartermaster to get their actual official kit, but with what Shade has recounted, I agree with her. She has made other arrangements for your equipment, and it may work out for the best for us anyways.
Is this a we are stationed into Antarctica and we can't do anything about it special assignment, or is this a we will never have to hear from them again special assignment?
I feel like technically neither, but kind of close to the other. To the second. Sorry. I feel like you gave me a list, and I was like, nah.
Also, probably just don't want to deal with
1,
Dutch
2,
as
or
being a little
3,
shit.
one of them.
Yeah. I'd say neither, but closer to number 2. There we go. That's how a person
There we
responds to that type of question.
I wouldn't have known.
You will head east. The Crossroads Inn is somewhere between 2 to 3 days journey from here. The bartender, Dirk, is aware that you are traveling there, and he has promised us he has procured the requested items. So, you will not be going to the quartermaster, you will be going there. While there, you will be sitting tight, and hopefully the rest of the company will slowly start to meet you there. But should the worst comes to worst, and Shade's going to kind of produce a smooth stone, kind of like what Duchess had, and toss it to Corin. We had debated promoting you to Scout Captain Corin, but it felt unfair considering who you would technically be over. And so, as the senior scout in this troop, we're just giving you an additional responsibility, but no rank. So, if people don't want to listen to you, it's not your fault.
You're acting, Captain.
perfect. I absolutely love that
Yeah. So,
because Corin is not a I don't want to have to fucking argue with you type of person. Like, if you don't want to listen, you don't want to listen. Fine, I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to
and
give orders.
I
I'm here to
will
kill people.
add this to your inventory. The difference in your sending stone and the one Duchess has is Duchess has like the traditional comes in pairs, only kind of communicate with each other. Yours only communicates with a single stone as well, but that stone is in the possession of Shade, where
Okay.
basically it communicates with all the scout captain's stones. So it's more of like an organizational sending stone.
Cool.
Whereas yours is still basically the same thing, but Shade has a special receiver kind of thing.
Curious, could I repurpose a sending stone to learn the spell sending?
I think potentially.
Might have to work on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in. It's gonna be in your backpack, Corin. But yeah, we can figure it out. God. I both have to use the bathroom and we're running out of time, but I want to get through this. And I kind of want to get through the next segment because I was excited for it. So I'm going to power through. Or if everyone's okay, we might just run a little bit over. But anyways, we're going to get through this segment first, and then we'll discuss other things. Marcus is going to look at Shade again, look at the rest of you. He's going to pull out a piece of paper and a kind of nondescript necklace. It's almost just like a sterling silver chain. And he's going to toss it to you, Songshen.
Okay.
If you don't mind, would you put that on for me?
I will put it on. What is this?
So, as you finish the clasp behind your neck, everyone else sees Songshen, who, how tall are you?
Average height. Like 5'8".
Okay.
That's average, right? I don't know.
Your height probably
Average
doesn't
height for what?
change too much. You're probably on the upper echelon of female average, I'd say. But
I was about to say,
Tolkien elves are always described as very tall.
true.
Not that Songshen is canonically a half elf, but she might be.
Nobody's ever asked,
Yeah.
but my ears are pointy.
You
I assume
see-
because I think your character model
So
has pointy
everyone
ears.
with pointing ears is all of a sudden an elf, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You see Songshen gains about 1 to 2 inches in height. But
Yes.
probably
Not
the
much of a
more visible change is that her clothes changed to be kind of like what you'd imagine like a waiter to wear at like a fantasy catered party.
Applebee's?
Fantasy
No.
Applebee's.
Fantasy Applebee's.
It would be a fantasy country club if we're being
Why can't
clear.
I work at Fantasy Costco?
There's no reason why you can't work at Fantasy Costco, but that's not the clothes that you got clothes for a fantasy country club. And also,
Okay.
you're just a human male with like light brown hair
Ugh,
and just like a pointed face.
I'm just a dude.
Yep. And he kind of shows you all the letter, which I realized an hour and a half ago that this was the one that I forgot to write. Essentially, it's basically a like entering an ad to work at the
Fantasy
like
Applebee's.
liberation celebration coming up in roughly 6 weeks, signed by Prince Landon. And Marcus continues looking at you all, and he's like, when we let Ramos out of the cellar, he was very upset on being left there, but more upset because he felt that Shade was aiding and abetting the prince, who he believes is conspiring against the crown. They found that note and that necklace on a dragonborn assassin in the capital. And he believes that the prince is trying to sneak assassins into the liberation celebration and murder everyone else in the royal family.
Oh, that would be rude.
But I'm kind of into it.
Wait. I think we like the crown.
The current
Typically just
the
into
previous
killing rich
one,
people.
not as much.
Previous,
The
yeah,
current one is it's like
Pretty
the most
good.
recent pope. still the Pope and still kind of oof, but like he's done a lot better than the others.
Right? Tried to fix things that were broken, but also you can only do so much when you don't want to give yourself absolute power.
Yeah, fair.
Fine.
Ramus believes that this is evidence of the prince conspiring against the crown.
Ugh.
I believe it's further evidence that someone is trying to frame the prince for whatever reason.
When we say the
But-
prince, we are talking about Landon, right?
Yes. So I can't
It's
do
like
it again.
super young.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
okay.
like 17.
Yeah,
Hire-
he's
hiring
super
assassins
conspiratorial,
from
yeah.
a foreign nation. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Everyone got that vibe from him, right? I
Right,
know we probably
yeah.
didn't do insight checks, but we probably don't need to roll for that. You got that vibe. He's a conniving little shit.
Him quietly sitting in a corner and sobbing while assassins were attacking us in the middle of the night definitely showed that he was conspiring against the
Yeah, he's
Oh, yeah,
Nothing
no,
says
he has
nothing
fucking
says ruthless
ruthless.
quite like that. Yeah.
but
Are we
Keep his
terrible
necklace.
people?
without proof either way, the unfortunate thing is that it would be Rams's word against the prince, who is currently being granted sanctuary by a foreign nation, who was rescued by a member of that race, who is a ranking officer in my company, whose father is the Minister of War, and without like direct intervention from the king himself, if Minister Brightwood decides to come down on Shade, there's not much I can do to stop it. So
This seems real awkward.
we are going to wait and see, but try to not have as much of the company here in one place as possible, just in case shit goes much further south. So,
Just so I get the gist, we're gonna go be waiters at a celebration to seek out assassins that might be working the event.
no. Well, no, I guess not no, but not yes. This this was what the assassin was wearing. So,
What percent chance of like either of those things happen?
of you
I
being
believe.
playing a waiter?
Maybe not me. No.
You
Oh,
think I'm
yeah,
even
no,
getting
he
in
looks
one of those
terrible.
outfits? You are
Oh,
sorely
if-
misconceived.
Yeah.
If somebody's playing a waiter, it's gonna be you, bud.
Also, no one needs to get in an outfit. Essentially, um, he kind of nods at Songshen to let her know she can take the necklace off.
Can I keep it though?
We can
Does it only
discuss that
do
later.
average men, or can I do other things?
It's just an average man. So
Ugh.
essentially, what this is, it is a necklace that has been imbued with the disguise self spell, and when you clasp it, it casts that on you for the specific person it was modeled after. In this case, a very average looking waiter. But, so that Fig's not super duper disappointed, you can do this for non boring waiters, but you requires a very talented tinker to make the jewelry and a very skilled mage to imbue the jewelry with the spell, because I think disguise self is like a first level spell. I think that's correct.
Yes.
But to imbue a piece of jewelry for it so that it's basically like permacast while you're wearing it, basically requires like a 6th level spell slot. So
I don't know anybody who can do that.
it's definitely not you, definitely not Lorazis, possibly not even Alvin. Although Alvin and
Fair.
Simon working in tandem,
Shade could do it.
I-
She's like a level 26
I
paladin.
don't
warlock
think I
sorcerer
gave her
with
6-level
her
spell
sword.
slots. I may have buffed Shade too much when I took her character from player sheet to NPC, but she does not have 6-level spell slots. And she's not a wizard. Of the 9 classes I decided to give her, wizard's not one of them.
I can't believe you didn't get
Druid's
her.
one of
Give
them,
her
though,
that.
right? Like, I'm not crazy, right?
Huh?
Druid's one of them. I'm not insane. One of them's Druid, right?
I declined to answer.
Mother.
Anyways, yeah, so this necklace has been imbued specifically with a disguise self spell for this specific kind of just
Average man.
average looking man, along with a signed kind of answer to an ad for basically working the party. With
Mhm.
the, I guess, assumption made that then the assassin would drop the disguise and kill as many
I
of the royal
have
family as he could.
I have my family signet ring and a letter of my pedigree on me. Could I just get into the event?
That is a good question.
It would probably require like a written request to whoever's filling out the guest list, but yes. Yes.
So could I get that information and be like, I am this person. I would like to go.
Yeah, I think
I want to
so.
go to this party.
Okay. I need to ask Marcus that information then.
Crap.
That's the easiest in
Yeah.
I could think of.
We
Mhm.
would need to send you to the capital to get you on the guest list, but we'll start working on that. If this, we've sent Marion and a few other scouts ahead to the capital, along with a written request to the king. I feel like this city's been through a lot, and it needs a refresh of the guard force because everyone who was is dead. And 2, I just feel like maybe they deserve some gold. I feel like they've had a rough few days to a week and a half, and I just,
I think Marin's had it worst. We sent him on horseback. He escaped the town, creating a stampede. He double timed it to Marcus, then came back, double timing it back with the troops. Had to fight some elves that actually weren't attacking but pretending to attack. Finally got a night's rest. Woke up and got, hey, bitch, go to the capital.
He's a scout.
realistically,
That's what we do, man.
realistically, he probably got to rest while all the greens were shooting the elves. He's one of the more veteran scouts. He would have understood that it wasn't a real attack, but he was sleeping for once.
That's fair. That's when he got to rest. And then he got up and was like, hey, go to the capital. It's like, shit.
So,
I just got here.
Well, that's what you get for being good at your job. I hate to break the illusion for people back home, but yeah. Don't be too good or you'll get extra responsibility.
Yeah, that is fair.
That's facts.
Um,
That hurt me just now.
I was
Warren's
gonna
currently
ask
trying to
whether-
decide if that means he's better or worse at his job than Marion.
That is
I think it was basically like a coin toss of like, you got to stay
Yeah.
with the greens.
Like the fucking Vanguard there from Destiny. He's just
Yeah.
like super pissed that he lost the coin toss.
You stayed with the greens, Marion went back to camp. And now you're just a part of the party, I guess.
Beautiful.
And Marion's going off again. But yes, so he kind of shows all of that to you guys, and he's like, yes, make your way to the Crossroads Inn. Dirk will have some items for you. Shade will keep in contact with you. He's looking at Corin when he says this, and
Corn nods.
hopefully within a few days of you reaching the inn, we'll have more information for you, but your orders are pretty much to sit tight and wait for further instruction once you get there.
I will take the necklace off as well.
Yeah, as you take off that necklace, give me a sleight of hand check.
Ooh.
I'm not good at those.
I think this would be the
Not
way
on
to
this
play it.
character. Oh dear, what is that? Oh,
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
for fuck's sake! I'm good at those. I changed my mind.
I was
Is
not.
that a nat 20? Just a flat nat 20?
Ah, weird.
I was like, I feel like this would be a passive perception kind of thing, but nope.
Nope,
Oh well.
it's fine. Nothing happened.
If everyone is okay with trying to get to the end before we stop, I'm going to take a quick break to use the bathroom, and then
Yeah.
I gotta boop off at about 7:05ish because parents want to have dinner with me,
okay,
and I'm already postponing
Okay.
dinner
yeah,
with them.
we can. Well, let's kind of maybe leave this with us getting ready to leave town, or I'll kind of leave it up to you. Anyone who wants to kind of how
not
you'd want to
depends.
handle travel, because it's going to be like 2-ish to just under 3 days worth of travel, but also there's not really going to be much bandit activity because most of them are now dead. So if you're
Course
just
scattered.
like taking the road the whole way, I feel like I'm not going to have like random encounters for you really. So it'd just be like anything you kind of want to do from an RP or character standpoint on the road. That's what we'll do kind of between long rests or during long rests. But I don't really foresee like random encounters between Midrash and the inn because
Are they gonna issue us horses?
that feels like the least they could do, right?
I think
Yeah.
so. Don't make me fucking walk, man.
Yeah. So I feel like let's stop with y'all getting horses, getting ready to leave, and then between now and next week, if you want to be thinking about things you want to do on the road, that will be the things we do on the road. Otherwise, it'll be like a time lapse of travel until you get to the end, and that's where we'll pick up next week.
Finrer, I do have a question out of character real quick. Out of everyone here, who would probably be the most knowledgeable about different deities and stuff like that?
Not me unless you count like the amount of deities that I've
If it's a
Including-
religion check, I am not bad at it.
Including Shade and Marcus.
If it's a history
Oh.
check, I am good at it.
I know fuck all about shit.
Yeah.
I would say Shade and Marcus, just off the cuff, would know the most. Lorazis has had schooling, but he's told me he picked a patron deity, but he's very casual. He probably
I might
got
have knowledge, but as far as me believing, it's very like, oh, well, they're gods. They do
Yeah.
things.
maybe you
cares?
got a B in your like religious studies class, but it probably should have
Just
been
I
a B
didn't take it
minus.
serious.
But the professors didn't want to continue arguing with you. Corin
It's
probably
just,
has
if they are
some
gods. Why would they care? Like,
specific
I understand
knowledge
you say they care.
about a hierarchy, but doesn't have a lot of general knowledge. So if
I'm a +4 on a religion check. I'll put it to you that way, and then I'm just like,
yeah,
but like from an RP standpoint, Corin's never been a faithful man until like just the last few years, and he really doesn't know much about intricacies of the gods other than like his own. patron.
Well,
I would
God.
say there's two gods Corin knows a shit ton
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, he's like a PhD student in those two, and then that's it. Other than just like general knowledge,
So
like general
probably
cultural
he-
knowledge.
He'll probably either ask Corin or Shade and Marcus. Ask one of those three before leaving, or out and on the road. He'll talk to Corin about it. Not sure how that's gonna go.
Me neither, buddy.
Yeah.
It's all up to the dice, I reckon.
If it's the type of question I think it is, it'd probably be better to ask Shade before you leave.
Yeah.
But Corin
You
might
can
be
always
cool.
ask me on the road after.
Yeah.
If Shade doesn't, we might get lucky.
Just right before you leave, ask Corin if he's cool. And if he says no, then ask Shade.
Hey, you chill. You chill. You
Corin's
cool?
so cool. He's my best friend.
But yeah,
I've made a mistake.
we'll start next session with travel time, anything anyone wants to accomplish with it, and arriving at the inn, and then presents, and then we'll go from there.
Presents. Is it that mithril?
It's
plate?
not mithril, but I really do think you're gonna like it.
Oof.
What's my present?